The playing stage of this year's MSI in London slowly comes to an end as we are looking for the last finalist to fight for the last spot in the main stage of this tournament, and it will be PSG Talent going against Loud.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Game number 1 of the last best of 3 in this tournament before the mode switches to a best of 5 already in the final of the play-in stage. And we're looking at the lineups for both teams. It's for PSG, RG in the top lane on the cannon, Junja, he plays the Sejuani in the jungle, Yubao, he's on the Tristana in the mid lane, and Wako and Woody in the bot lane on Aphelios and Thresh. And for Lao, we have Robo on the rise in the top lane, Croc in the jungle on the Wukong, Tinone shows us the Cassiopeia, and on their bot lane, it's Raud and Sears on Zeri and Rakon. And after 4 minutes, we see the first dive in the top lane, it's Junja and Yubao joining RG there, and they will send the Archmage back into the nothingness. And here we go again, only 3 minutes later as RG, he goes in and look how he stuns and melts down the health bar of Robo, and the Arctic Assault of Junja will just do the rest. Second kill for the team from the PCS, but nonetheless Loud able to take the Herald, and into the mid lane we go, where Croc, he connects his Cyclone on Woody, but he's safe for now as he flashes under the turret and then connects the hook on the Wukong, pulls him into the danger zone. Croc gets ignited and then smited by Junja, who comes in, and it will be too much for the Loud jungler to survive there. And so it's the third kill for PSG after a bit more than 9 minutes, and just before we hit the 10-minute mark, they take the first dragon off the game as well. While in the mid lane it's good old Shelly taken earlier and now summoned by Loud, and a Lady of Rage will charge and rush into the turret, and for Loud it will be enough to take 2 plates away from it. Being down more than 2k gold already, Loud has to make something happen, and it's Seos going on Woody, and the 2 supporters are having a bit of a rumble in the jungle as now Junja and Croc, they join the fight and both the supporters are getting low on HP. It's Woody trying to get away there, but he will be the one slain first, but also Seos has no chance to escape there, and it's a 1-for-1 trade. And we're up into the bot lane about 12.5 minutes into the game where Wako on his own, he gets a little bit too eager there. Now against the 2 bot laners and Sears and Raud, both they use their flash to chase down Wako, and they will finally send him back to the fountain. And just a moment later we hop into the top lane for the third gank on the game on Robo, and he gets stunned under his turret and melted down so fast, like he hasn't been there at all. And now in the mid lane it's again Robo on the wrong part of entertainment again as Yubao and Junja going in and take him down again. Really rough time that the top laner of Loud is having there, as we see Wako taking down the bot lane T1. And in the top side jungle, attacked there by Croc, and now the rest of the team joins except for Robo. He's in the top lane. And the team from Brazil, they want to make sure that this objective lands in their pockets. They have to really be on the ball now, being down by almost 5k. But on the other side of the map they have to give up the second Drake, and it goes to the team from Hong Kong. And now we see Yubao on the Tristana damaging the bot lane T2, but he's getting caught by surprise by Croc there, who dashes in, follows up with the Cyclone, and as Raud joins, the mid laner of PSG is trapped there between death and despair. And Loud now is starting to go on a bit of a reclamation trip here, as they're in the mid lane where they summon the big Shelly, and in the bot lane it's Raud as well, damaging the T1 there, and both turrets are advertised with an objective bounty on it. And this could be a possible way back into this game for the Brazilian team. And to do so, they're now trying to claim this Chemtech Drake to be theirs, and they succeed. But they will have to trade it for their top lane T2, which is destroyed by Yubao, and also the mid lane T1 now in danger. And it's left one shot there with only 3 HP, and in the end, Loud, they will obtain a dragon, but they will have to give up 2 turrets for it. And we're just seconds later where Junja does a little bit of scouting in the topside jungle of Loud. He has to flash away from 4 members. Croc, he dashes over the wall to follow him, but now he runs into a 1v2 against Junja and RG. And a cannon passive it procs, it stuns, and it kills the Loud jungler who was a little bit too greedy there. Same spot, but 4 minutes later as we see Junja connecting his glacial prison on Sears, who then dashes away. But it's a cannon passive again that this time stuns Robo. He's now trapped, and 4 members of PSG are raging at him until he's sent into the grey. And after 27 minutes we see PSG there taking soul point by slaying this Chemtech Drake. But the main attraction waits in the upper pit, it's the Baroness, and we find ourselves there as we see Sears and Raud dashing over the wall to attack Ginger, but he's tanky enough already on his Sejuani to get away there with half HP. But Croc and Zeus, they continue the attack and they're going for Waka, but he gets shielded by Woody. And it's just not enough damage they deal to the PSG ADC, and now the Hunter becomes the hunted. Croc, he's trying to get away there, but the Wukong will be killed by the Aphelios. And even Rout on this area has to use his flash to get away there with his life, and now PSG, with all their 5 members making their way to the Baron, and they will take this buff. As we see Robo there in the bot lane trading in the tier 2 turret for his team. But for Loud, the team from the PCS with the Baron buff now becomes a threat that seems to be too big to be fended off somehow. And into the bot lane we go, almost 30 minutes into the game as we see the T2 crumbling there on the sides of Loud. And we see Ubao staying there for the 4-1 split push as the rest of his team is making its way through the mid lane. And Loud, they don't see any chance to defend this T2, and so this turret is crumbling and eventually collapsing as well. And 2 minutes later, we're in a bot side jungle where a team fight arises, and Zeus and Croc, they're already low. And so they're now on the retreat, and the Wukong takes the blast gun, but he lands just in front of the cannon, who lets the shurikens fly, and also Wako. He kills Zeus and Tinus in the stopwatch. He counts the second until the grey screen. And so it's only Rout and Robo, the 2 living members for Loud now, who have to defend against 5 members of PSG armed to the teeth and locked and loaded to reduce the base into ashes. And the turret and the inhib on the top side, they just vanish as they are now going for the Nexus turrets. Robo and Rout, they're putting in all that they got left. But will it be enough to fend off PSG here until their team members respawn? Argy, Junja and Woody left with little HP, and so PSG, they disengage. Robo and Rout, they're chasing after him. Robo, he flashes in, but he will only take the bait, because that's what PSG was waiting for, and so they turn to take him down. And also Rout. But now it's Croc and Zeus getting in with full HP, but the health bars are just disappearing. PSG, they take down the jungler. And now Zeus with the last grand entrance of this game 1, which will go to PSG. And they are now just 1 step away from the final in the lower bracket. And for the team from Brazil, they have to put themselves together, go back to the drawing board, and then they'll surely come back strong to game number 2. And let's get into this game number 2, where we see Loud now playing from the blue side. And it's Robo on the Malphite in the top lane. Croc, he plays the Viego in the jungle. Tenones now in the mid lane on the Annie. And Rout and Zeus in the bot lane on Zeri and Nautilus. And for PSG, it's Argy in the top lane. He's on a Cassante. Junja, he plays the Kindred in the jungle. Yubao, he's on the Galio in the mid lane. And Wako and Woody on Aphelios and Thresh again. And we're 4 minutes into the game as we see Junja and Yubao joining their top laner there for a dive on Robo. The Cassante will engage, tanks the first tower shots, Yubao gets one, and also Junja. And he barely, but he gets out of range, and so it's a clean dive for PSG there. And 5.5 minutes into the game again, Junja and Yubao joining now their bot laners for the next dive. And this time, it will be Zeus who falls victim to it. And Yubao and Junja, they're now moving away from the scene. But Wako and Woody, they stay trying to put pressure on Zeri, but she returns the favor and says, if you want to be greedy, my friend, I'll take you down. But Junja, he's close enough to attack with Woody, and combined they take down the Zeri as well, so it's a 2-for-1 in this situation. 2 minutes later, we see Woody there getting stumped there by the Tibbers, and also Croc, he's in danger, barely stays alive with his ult. But Yubao comes in with the hero's entrance, and he kills the Loud jungler. And now you see Tenones and Rout running for their lives. And so PSG, they decide this team fight in their favors. And as a reward, they will take the first dragon of the game. And so for the team from the PCS, the mission successful early start will be accomplished with this objective. And after 10 minutes, both teams now struggling for the love of the Rift Lady. Argy in a bit of a trouble there, but he takes the lantern to escape as Tenones places his Tibbers to stun Junja. He's below half HP. But also the Galio of Yubao has to use the flash to get away there, but it won't be enough. Croc takes him down. And now Argy in the midst of all CC, but he can use his all out to take Zeus over the walls. And it turns out not to be only an escape, but a kill as well. And so both teams, they trade 1-for-1. The Herald itself will be taken a minute later, and it will land in the pockets of PSG. And we go back into the mid lane where we see Croc there going for the gank. The Spectral Maul, it connects. Yubao trying to get in safety there, but the Heartbreaker connects, and it will be Zeus Hook, which practically pulls the mid laner into the death screen. The stopwatch can only do so much. And Loud, they get away with the kill there. Second dragon of the game about to be brought down by PSG there, and they will roam towards the bot lane, where they will summon the dread of all turrets. It's a 4v3 in favor for Loud, and they concentrate all their damage on the Herald to deny it from smashing into their turret, and it seems as if they were successful, and the Herald falls, but Sears gets hooked by Woody. His stopwatch comes in clutch to avoid the hero's entrance, but in the end it won't be enough to avoid death. And now Woody, he gets stunned by the Tibbers, but he pulls in Tinnounds as well, who activates his stopwatch, and then uses his flash, but Waka would get him anyways. But now Croc with the flash W on Waka, and he takes down the ADC. Round chases Ginger, who's now one shot, but limps away with 1 HP, but instead Woody is taken down by the Zeri. Croc chases Ubao, who turns with a Justice Punch, but Round sends him into the grey screen for a double kill. And now they take this team fight with a 3-4-1, and we find ourselves back at the Herald pit, where Round and Croc are about to bring it down, and Sears and Robo, they try to fend off PSG, but the Loud top laner will have to pay for this with his life, and also Sears, he will see the numbers of the respawn counter. The team from Brazil, they could obtain the Herald, but they will lose their mid lane T1, plus the third dragon of the game, which will spawn in a couple of seconds, and it's already there, and this will be soul point for PSG. And so about a minute before the Baron will spawn, PSG, they up ahead, roughly by 4k gold, and they have a Dragon Soul in view. For Loud, they now really have to get their act together and find an angle to win the next team fight. But before that, they will summon the lovely Rift Lady on the dance floor and let her shuffle towards the T1 of PSG. But the Lady of Rage won't be enough to take down the turret for now. It has to take a Zeri a couple of moments later that will finish it off. But again, just seconds later, now 21 minutes into the game, Yubao, he retakes the lead in terms of turrets destroyed for his team. But now we find ourselves at the Baron Nashor, which is already only at half HP. And Loud, they just so need this objective in their pockets. Tinnounds and Argy in a bit of a clash on the bottom side screen, as now the rest of Loud joins their mid laner, and the Spectrum Maul of Croc stuns the Cassante, but the footwork shield will save Argy, and he gets away there with half HP. And now they all gather in the mid lane, where the real fight breaks out. Robo goes in on Ginger with the Malphite ult, followed by the Thunderclap, as Yubao strikes down with the hero's entrance, but it will only deal so much damage. But instead on the bottom screen, the Chakrams of Aphelios take down Robo. Argy's now stunned and Croc gets in, but the Cassante can flash away, and so is Croc, who sees the grey screen first, followed by Seals, and Argy still alive, limping away. And so PSG takes down 3 members of Loud, among them their jungler, and so they will take the Baron Nashor, and this could be a preliminary decision in this match and in this best of series as well. But it ain't over until the Rift Lady sings, and so we're in the fight for the Dragon Soul, where it's all or nothing for Loud now. Robo, he throws in everything he got, but he gets stunned, knocked up, rooted, and so the Loud top laner falls first. It's now Tinnounds gets hooked by Woody, and he's the second one who sees the grey screen, and Loud, they're on the retreat. Sears and Round, they're almost under their turret, but Argy says, no problem for me, I can tank this one. And so the Nautilus falls, the Zeri as well, and now it's only Croc, the last living member of Loud there, but only for a couple of seconds, as the team from Brazil gets aced by PSG. And so they can take 2 turrets in the bot lane, plus the Drake. They will have a gold lead of 10k, and if you find any silver lining for Loud there, well, be so kind, put it in an envelope and send it to them. Because there's only so much left that they can do now, as PSG is pushing with a Dragon Soul in their back. And so the mid lane T2 falls, as will the one in the top lane. And now they're standing in front of the base, ready to put an end to this series. And as they're going in on the inner turret, Loud not even trying to defend this one. Robo, he's counter pushing in the bot lane, but PSG probably couldn't care less that he will take this objective bounty, as they smash the first inhib, now going for the one in the mid lane. And again, no resistance from Loud there, and you can't even blame them for it, because even the support of the fire of 2 Nexus turrets wouldn't be enough to fend off PSG in this one. As they're now going for the Nexus turrets, at the same time Robo recalls, but will it be enough? The first Nexus turret falls, as Seals is pulled out to be now encircled by death and destruction. And the last 4 members of Loud fighting with all they got left in the tank. Tinnounds, he gets hooked there by Woody, and now he, Argy, and Wako, they wreak havoc on him. And as the rest of Loud is trying to take down Ginger, the last Nexus turret falls. The Nexus is exposed, and the team from Brazil, they can take down Ginger, but they will lose Croc, and so they lose their Zeri, and now it's only Robo, and so this best of 3, the last of this tournament, comes to an end. And PSG, they will proceed to the lower bracket final to fight for the last spot in the main stage of this tournament. And they will play against the Golden Guardians in the first best of 5 of this MSI 2023 here in the Copperbox Arena in the beautiful city of London. And we have to say thank you and goodbye to Loud. It was really pure enjoyment to have you here with all your great fans.